wish I could get mine to come in here. We've got William, Lilith, and January.
Nice.
Yes, but they won't come in here.
Right.
I have shy pussy.
I always love it when people ask me if I'm really in Omaha and then ask me if I have cats. It's like, no, I'm just doing that as a lie. Hey, look at my name. Like North Omaha Cat Lady. It's like, and who lies about being in Nebraska?
Honestly.
You know,
Right.
I mean,
if you like corn.
Getting ready to on up here. It is time to go. We will play the intro now.
I'll give you the hair tie right off of my wrist. I'll turn it up if you play Taylor Swift. I'll gas you up when you're acting unhinged. If you're done, if you're pissed, I'll help you burn down a bridge. I'm an always got time for my girls, girl. Wherever you are in the world, girl, I'll be right there when you call me up. If you need to cry or wanna get drunk, I'll be your number one hype girl. I got your back in a fight, girl. Round after round, I'm always down. There ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl. Yeah, there ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl. Hey. Woo! Round after round, I'm always down. There ain't no doubt I'm a girl's girl.
Good evening, everybody. You are watching the Hurricane Girls here on youtube.com at Hurricane Girls. I am Sheila Chappelle, America's ex-girlfriend, Category 5 Hurricane Girl coming at you. And we are the Daughters of Darkness, the Sisters of Rage. We are nature's curse against mediocre men and the goddess's happy little accidents. Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday night. We're halfway through August, and we're sitting here with my besties, and we're coming to you live from Harm Little Narcissist Studios here in Toledo, Ohio. But the rest of us are from elsewhere besides me. I'm here with my friend, the salty hurricane, Mary.
Hello.
From a state that looks like this. How are you
From the state
tonight?
that looks like this, and I'm in this part, not in that part. I'm good. This is my favorite night of the week, and I'm so excited about our guests tonight. So I had to make sure there's a storm. So if I drop off, I'm so glad I got to say hello before that happened.
And from the Florida of New England, New Hampshire, here's Hurricane Abby Rosemarin, author of The Year of Dating Myself, now out from Simon and Schuster. And pick up a copy if you haven't already. It's still hot. We want you to get a copy on audiobook or the regular old paper book that you can hold in your hands and read. How are you, Abby?
I'm in chaos mode, but you know what? So far, so good.
Chaos mode is how we thrive sometimes. From the mediocre state of Texas, here's Hurricane Morgan. How are you doing, Mo?
Hey, did y'all miss me?
We did. We did. How you doing, Boo?
I'm doing good. I am chilling. I'm relaxing. My mama is cooking. Everyone say hello to Hurricane Mama. So,
Hi,
Yes.
Mama.
Hurricane
Hey,
Mama.
I'm making a one. Mom, everyone says hello.
Send me a plate.
I'm making a one pot honey
Just don't tell her when we swear.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah. So we are certified by the Creator Accountability Network at Creator Accountability. You know what? Just pretend you heard me say that, right? CreatorAccountabilityNetwork.org. If you find anything in this podcast has caused harm or needs to be addressed, please contact them. They will help us. They and their model of restorative justice will help us to make it right. Our Patreon is at patreon.com/Hurricane Girls. And before I introduce our guest for tonight, I do want to let you know what kind of talent you can expect coming up from this show. In October, we're going to meet Michi Rivera Acosta, who is one of our dear friends, and they're going to talk to them about their service. We'll meet Miss Andrie from TikTok. Miss Emily, amazing soul singer from Ontario, Canada, will be with us. In the month of September, folk band Stone and Snow will join us, as well as alt rock band Natural Velvet, and heavy metal group from Nashville, Blank Era, will join us, as well as Renee Bell from the Gilmore Girls show. And this month we've got coming up New Enemy, an alt metal band from Belfast, Ireland, or from Belfast or Dublin, I can't remember, but they're Irish, and they're coming to join us. And next week we will have Racontus, attorney at law, talking to us about her career as a prosecutor of homicide and sex crimes. So tonight we are honored to have with us North Omaha cat lady, aka Auntie Rosie, here with us tonight, aka Flossie May, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
a few other people, yeah.
From TikTok and Facebook. You've heard her. You've heard her. She is here tonight getting her fat bitch on, and with the rest of us. And so we're here. And hey, there to Hurricane Sim, who just walked in the door. How are you doing?
Oh, lovely. My apologies. My video is spazzing out on me, so I'm trying to figure that out as well. I apologize for my tardiness.
Okay. Well, welcome to the show. And we're all happy to be here. We're happy to have you here with us, Rosie. I've been following you on, I think everybody, you have 3.1 million followers. So statistically speaking, probably everybody here has been following you for some point from some point in time. But it was early on in TikTok for me, because I don't know, there's something about seeing you come on the screen, saying what you cooking, or getting fat bitch on. I have to know.
Yeah.
I have to know, how did that catchphrase, where did that come from?
People have asked me that, and I actually looked years ago when you could actually see all your videos. I went back in them, and I will just be very honest. Sometimes I don't know what's going to pop out of my mouth. And I was sitting on the front porch, and I started a video sitting here getting my fat bitch on. That's
And it just
that's where it came from. And it kind of stuck.
I love it. That's one of those catchphrases that just kind of, it's gold, because you're not going to just scroll away from that, I think.
Well, and it really upsets some people, and I always say, well, the problem is with you, because calling someone a fat bitch has always been, a way maybe males have degraded women, and I'm like, I've reclaimed that. That's my superpower now.
Right,
it's like you're calling me fat, and are you going to tell me I'm white next? It's like, and dealing with the trolls. So,
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
I agree. No, we've all been excited about this, and I think Morgan was the last one to catch on that we were having you on, because all I saw in my notifications was the cat lady is coming on.
Yeah, just don't bring that Dorito ice cream, whatever that monstrosity was.
Oh.
My God.
I actually Van Leeuwen's ice cream actually, it has had some really weird flavors out, and they had a ranch dressing ice cream, and it was the most nefarious ice cream ever, because you open it up and it looked like vanilla. And
what?
I mean, the little ranch is white, so they put it in vanilla, and you taste it, and it tasted like vanilla ice cream, and then you swallowed it, and you got this like overpowering garlic aftertaste. So I was like, whoa.
That's
It doesn't go in ice cream. It just doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think Morgan's about to crash out here. But yeah, I mean, you have crafted for yourself a following. Do you have any insight into how that happened, how that came to be, or you just sat there talking and it just sort of happened?
Well, you can do they show you the on this day videos, and I do have some also saved from long ago, and it was I really had no experience making videos. I had been on Facebook and the pandemic hit and I was bored and all my cousins were acting crazy and telling me that surgical masks cause brain damage and all this. I mean, it was like, oh my God, I've got to get out of here. And I saw Mary Jo Lopp, who is TikTok
Mhm.
Grandma,
Yeah.
on CNN. In 2020, she had an uber viral video
Yes.
about how to fuck up Trumpanzee's Tulsa rally. And and that actually made it onto CNN. Because then the K-pop kids on Twitter picked it up and they were interviewing her, and I was like, that sounds like a lot of fun. So I downloaded TikTok and I kind of lurked for a couple days, and I was at like Goodwill or something, and I made my first video at Goodwill, which was the presidential motorcade.
Yeah.
So
Mary Jo's friend of the show.
oh yeah, she's great.
She's something else, honestly. Just finding those niches in there, like mine obviously tends to lean towards trans women.
Mhm.
Mary's the salty historian who writes only about women. Morgan's the finer friend down there, and then Abby is no longer a social mediaite, but she was doing pretty damn good before. Um, she's just
Mine
like,
is always
no,
just Mine's
come
kind of
on.
always been a buffet. I mean, I've made videos about everything from like finding a praying mantis in my garden to cats to social justice to politics and stuff about school, and it's kind of like I don't know, maybe it's my stream of consciousness. But um,
Obviously, your politics lean far away from what somebody who looks like yourself might be anticipated to have. So
that
you're
upsets people. They think I'm going to be this nice sweet little grandma who like farts rainbow glitter and bakes cookies, and I'm not. I'm mean and I'm nasty and I will match your energy, and I'm probably going to bite people and start charging for it. It's like I'm not this sweet little church going grandma. No, I'm a green witch. And they also have a trouble with me finding out that I was raised very strict, a very, very strict Christian and Republican family. And I'm neither.
mm,
They always tell me I need to read my Bible. It's like I have.
that was kind of the thing that did it for me.
Yeah,
J-
reading it
Just
actually.
the reading it. But yeah, I know it may be hard to believe, but I'm a former fundamentalist pastor. So I know where you're coming from there.
I have a lot of friends that have deconstructed from evangelicalism, and but nothing surprises me.
I love the fact that I get to go back to my old congregants and let them know that they had a woman pastor for years and didn't fucking know it.
And you weren't
I
quiet.
love it. No, no. The way the looks I've gotten there when I come in, all fabulous now and extra huge tits and everything, it's like, no, that's who you had pastoring for you for years and you didn't know it.
You had a beautiful woman pastoring for you. You didn't even know it.
Right. I mean, I'll be I'll be honest, I've had a glow up since then, but yeah. But I think a lot of us can identify with that as, not being able to or having people underestimate us based on how we come off at first. But not all of us are gifted with being able to craft an alliterative name for President Cheeto Corleone at the drop of a hat. I have to know, do you think of those beforehand or is that just spontaneous? Like,
I started doing it in 2016 when it was elected. I tried to be very like, okay, congratulate my cousins and friends that were voting for it. And then my cousins started blocking me. I was like, why? I mean, I have had no cross words with you. And one of my cousins goes, well, we thought you'd come around after it was elected. And I'm like, oh, really? I'm like, nope. I'm like, that's no, And I started when I was on Facebook. I was like, I'm not gonna call him by his name. So I started making up names there, and they are sort of alliterative Dr. Seuss, and I don't know, stream of consciousness, and I've had people get mad at the names too because I've used sometimes like banjo playing cat turd. Oh, you're being mean to banjos. I'm like, oh my god, being mean to banjos. It's because it rhymes. It fits in there. It's the right number of syllables. I can also use bagpipe, you know.
I love it.
But no, they really, I do kind of. There's a few I think that I kind of default to that are easy, but no, there's a lot of them.
I think we all have a name for him. Like all of us. Like Mary, what was yours? It was the
Penis potato. Penis potato.
the penis
And
potato.
I have to explain. I have to explain it every time. So, what is another name for a penis? A dick. What's
Uh-huh.
another name for a potato? A tater.
Tater.
Dick tater. So
Tater.
penis potato.
We all have to find this Cheeto Corleone for me all the time. We all have different ways that we refer to said orange turd. Morgan probably has more than most.
47 layers of orange Mussolini, of apartheid Clyde. 47 levels of tragedy. 47. Somebody give me 47 bottles of bleach. I'm gonna be good.
All right, ladies, I'll open up the floor here. I know y'all all have questions you want to ask for Rosie, so pipe up, interrupt. Don't just stare on mute.
Okay, fine. I'll do it since nobody else is coming off of mute, for fuck's sake. Okay, so earlier you had said that you kind of came into this and you were really inexperienced and it didn't sound like you had a plan for this to explode the way that it has. But so it started out passive, obviously. Has it ever become an active thing where you've been actively trying to grow the platform so that you can spread a message farther? I went all serious,
Well,
sorry.
yeah, I actually am doing it as my full-time job now.
Oh wow.
When I hit 1 million followers, I thought, oh, something's different. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? And then it hit 2 million, then it hit 3, and so I was like, I called a friend of mine here in Omaha who's a lawyer, and I was like, I think I need a lawyer for this, and she referred me to a lawyer, and she actually specializes in social media. And so she's helped me set up the LLC. So I am North Omaha Cat Lady LLC now. And then I realized I needed an accountant. Because if you're monetized, no one's taking taxes out of those. And it is paid out as entertainment tax, which is much higher. And so it's like, I didn't grow up rich. So I was like making money and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm putting everything in the bank because you have to pay the tax man. And I was approached, and then I also have a marketing company that started working with me probably 3 or 4 years ago. And they market me only on Snapchat, and they only put on my cooking videos. But
Oh my God.
yeah, so, and I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Facebook, YouTube, and then Snapchat.
So do you ever
So
wish
you
that you
gotta,
could just do you ever wish you could just run away from it? Does it ever become too much and you're just like, fuck this, I'm done?
it does, but if I get to that point, I usually put some, and I've talked to other creators that are like Ophelia Nichols. Mama Todd is a friend of mine, and she goes through a lot. She's, her son was murdered, and the trial's coming up, and she's needed some time off. And I said, put some stuff in drafts. So it doesn't have to be anything earth shattering. But if you want to take some time off, that's what I just do. And now you can even schedule the stuff. So I could schedule to have 2 videos drop every day for a week and just, go to, I don't know, Canada and never come back.
Canada, yeah.
Ireland, never come back. But yeah, as long as you're consistently posting, if you just stop, you really fall off their algorithm. So, I mean, and even my backup, I have put up the most bizarre videos on Flossie May. I mean, some of the weirdest ones I could ever imagine. Like the guy like slapping his thighs to the chicken dance, and Flossie May. I had this. I don't even know if that filter still exists. There was a filter that put chicken on your head, and Flossie May like playing along with a fly swatter. I mean, it's like I drop weird stuff over there like that. I mean, just to, and I don't know how that has 100,000 followers. Like you're watching, okay, okay, yeah,
Whatever
but.
works, right?
And some people have told me I only watch you for your cat videos. I only watch you for your food videos. I only watch you for political stuff. I'm like, that's so I do have playlists. It's like if you only want to watch those, go ahead. I don't care.
Right.
Engagement is engagement, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I've done the playlist before. I'm really undisciplined about it because I know that TikTok wants you to have a lane that you stay in for the most part, or else it doesn't know what to do with you in the algorithm.
Hmm.
But I've got such massive amounts of ADHD, such crippling ADHD that my videos have no consistency one to the other. I'm amazed that I'm in the tens of thousands right now because probably and then you post a video about a video clip from Mr. Rogers and it goes to 1 million views. So I've got to learn to be a little bit more disciplined, I think, with my posting.
But sometimes when I mean, you can't figure what's going to go viral. You really can't because
Mm,
sometimes I use CapCut Pro and everything, and I'm learning video editing, and you work on something for 2 hours and this is a really good video, and it kind of flops, and then you make some
Yeah.
15-second weird filter video, where I'm trying on beards, and that soars up to in the hundreds of thousands. Like, okay,
can't predict it.
no, you can't.
Yeah. I was like I was thinking about the Flossie May account there. Where did that come from? Like, is that just a
um
character you invented, or
yeah, well, yeah, she actually was born out of a hat. My friend Jamie, who I went to high school with, came over. I think it must have been the like Christmas of 2020, and she brought me this weird orange. I don't know where the hat is. This weird orange like trapper hat. So it has the big ear flaps on it, and it's like bright orange, fuzzy hat. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is such a weird looking hat." And Flossie May came out of that, and Flossie May at first started off as a very sort of one-dimensional. She has the teeth, toothless Trumplican. Um, Flossie was an ardent Humpty Dumpty McFuckstick supporter. Had the hats and everything. I mean, I have some of her old. I've actually bought some of the and but when January 6th happened, Flossie could not abide by that, and said no way. So, but Flossie has become very. She has a whole backstory, whole life, whole everything now, and it's like she's very three-dimensional, and I think as time goes on, I think some of the characters get more depth to them. There's some characters. I mean, there was one. What was her name? Helen. I did her. She was a farm wife. I did her a lot in 2020. I haven't done her in years. Um, but and I have like one of the newer ones is Miss Eglantine with that freaky filter. But I mean, and I started duetting Disco Cookie, and she does a character. She's young. I mean, everyone looks young to me, but I think she's probably in her mid to late 20s, and she does a boomer character from Facebook, like who doesn't know how to use her phone and is always screaming about something. And Miss Eglantine started stitching her, and she didn't even know I was doing it, and just figured it out like a couple of weeks ago. And she goes, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were doing this," and they're hysterical together. So that kind of stuff sort of pops up too. You know,
the Humpty Dumpty McFuckstick, the way that just falls out of your mouth? Like, I have to think that there is somebody in your life who has pissed you the fuck off, who has caught those verbal hands before.
Oh yeah.
I and just randomly the stream of consciousness sort of unique sort of cursing out. That has to have happened.
Oh, well, my mother also, I mean, a lot of it is very alliterative, and a lot of it does kind of remind me of Dr. Seuss and some of the poetry that I've enjoyed throughout my life. But my mother and I also had sort of a nonsense language that we, played around with ourselves. So, um, and so I kind of grew up. My mother was a teacher. She was very educated, and so playing around, like my mother had a very keen sense of fun and silliness, and I think that that's perfectly fine to have. You know,
Hot Sauce and Curls says that their favorite of yours is Dingle Dongle McBongle Fongle.
dingle dongle McBongle Fongle, the vapid bag of dog vaginas. Sure, that's what. Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. That I think that is her. Hot Sauce is one of my moderators. She's a very, very wonderful person and one of my chosen family. She's one of my sisters.
I love it. That Sim, there's got to be some sort of therapeutic way that makes that being able to say things like this out loud and not have TikTok and its draconian censorship.
Oh, it's
Just
very
like
healing. I mean,
it's gotta
and
be healing.
I enjoy those phrases. I mean, because I love the fact that it just rolls off your tongue. It's so natural. It's like you don't get tripped up with it. And I'm like, I love that. And it's like, I wish I could be that creative to come up with those types of things. And I'm just like, no, here I am going, no, he's just an asshole, you know?
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't fully, explore the intensity of the rage that I feel towards him, but it's like, I don't have those creative things, but it's like, but it gives me life to watch you come after him when he starts his shit and whatever, and you come out with a video. I'm like, yes, and I live vicariously through those things that you call him out for, and I think for me it's therapeutic because it's like seeing somebody else from our generation, from Gen X, who's like just as pissed off, right?
Mhm.
Just as like this is not okay. Like this is not normal.
Mhm.
We
It's
have to
not.
speak up, because electively, statistically, it was Gen X that was quiet during the voting process. And that filled me with such rage. So to see another Gen X person out there just exploding with rage, I'm like, I feel so validated. I'm like, yes, there's a person out there. So I absolutely adore, yes, your alliteration and your way with words. And when you do your dramatic readings of comments from people, I am on the floor. Like I'm literally like sitting there going, I wish I could have that creativity to come after people
Mhm.
that say really stupid stuff. And it's just, I love it. I love the dramatic readings because they just, oh, I love it. It all gives me life.
Well, and I love doing one other character is Miss Fizzy Widget, who's the
Yes.
teacher. Who's a teacher. I mean, I've actually given her the summer off. She hasn't been on. Yes, she's gotten the summer off. Like,
That's
you
good.
don't want to mess with the teachers. And but I mean, that's I don't know where I mean, she's sometimes these are a combination of relatives and people I knew from church and people I've worked with and from my mom's friends and things like that. But yeah. What's funny is I do have a playlist of the names I have made up for him. They're not all of them on there, but there's a couple of them. And when I go to the dentist, I'm really hard to get numb. So she gives me like 3 times the amount of numbing medicine. So it's like my entire face is numb. And I'm just sitting in my car trying to say the names. And my face is like this. And so I'm saying the names like this. I'm cracking up because it sounds so funny. I can hardly get them out.
But you're at
So,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
no, go
off
on.
there. You're at on TikTok at North Omaha Cat Lady, right? With the
Yes.
underscores underneath it. Where are you at on YouTube?
I'm actually if you look up the hashtag, if you look up North Omaha Cat Lady, you'll find me. I'm under I actually put it under my government name because I doxed myself like several years ago. So it's under Carol Irie, but it's spelled really crazy. So,
Well, that's
no one
how
can ever,
that's how
no
I
one
know
can ever
you on
spell my name.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no one can ever spell any part of my name. So
I can
I
relate to
mean,
that.
yeah, when I go up to somebody and they're like, "What's your name?" I just spell it. I don't even say it. It's like, yeah, that's my name. You know, you're being called at the doctor's office because they come out and they're like,
Yes.
uh,
Yeah, I can relate to that.
like that's me. Yeah.
Well, I thought when I saw you as that on Facebook, I thought that was just a clever alias that you had created for yourself. I didn't realize that was your actual government name there.
No, and I've gone by Rosie because that was my I had a roommate in Minneapolis. Well, I knew him from high school, and he moved up to Minneapolis, and I had to tell him, I was like, Scott, by the way, you're gay, and he was like, No, I'm not. I'm like, Yeah, you are, and you're gay. Everyone knew it in high school. You're gay, and he nicknamed we lived together in the same apartment for like 17 years. And big 2-bedroom in Uptown, and we were the building managers. And I just would try to fix things. I've always been kind of handy, and so he nicknamed me Rosie the Riveter. And that was about the time when I got that's when I got my first Dell computer in the mail in the big cow box.
Oh my
And
God,
I
I
found out
remember
pretty
that.
quickly there were a lot of crazy people on the internet. And
Mm.
so I started going by the alias of Rosie, and I used my mom's maiden name, which was Madsen. And but when the Omaha World Herald wanted to do an article on me, that's our local paper, and that was, oh gosh, that was probably almost 4 years ago. And Margie talked to me on the phone, and she's like, "Well," I said, "Well, how do you do this?" I said, "Use my screen name." And she's like, "No, we just have to use your real name." And I'm like, "Okay," you know. So I mean, I'm a homeowner. I'm discoverable. No one's ever bothered me, but you know, I do have security at my house.
And it's weird how things have changed now because now the news quotes Twitter feeds by their just by their username. They don't bother
Yeah.
finding out where they're coming from. It's
Well, and I think it was because it was an actual newspaper, and they go by probably MLA or APA or something like that, and they name you once by your whole name and then call you by your last name through the rest of the article. It's like, okay, whatever. Oh,
right. I mean, I'm one of those ones that does have their government name out here on
mhm,
the internet because it wasn't my government name when I started. So
mhm,
I yeah, the whole court system got that changed up for me. But yeah, and then I was like, well, do I change it now to hide who I am when I've fought so hard to have this name? Like, no, I'll leave it be. I've got a 38 special for anybody who shows up at the door. I mean,
mhm. Yeah.
Abby,
And,
you've met Rosie before, right?
I have, yeah. It was Minneapolis Pride 2022, 2023.
oh, you were,
I
oh, you were when we had the booth.
That's right. And admittedly, I am one of those people. I mean, if as evidenced by how I have been on this podcast, I tend to be the silent and off to the side wallflower. But so awesome to get to meet you in person. And you were just an absolute gem, and just that energy that you radiate, online, easily translated into real life as well.
I love Minneapolis Pride. That was the first time I ever did like. I mean, that would been one sort of like a meet and greet on steroids. And I don't think any of us were prepared for how like literally exhausting that was.
Mhm.
And God, by Sunday, all of us were like, "Oh my God!" I felt bad for Amber, who's that Midwestern mom, because I
Hmm.
mean, she was, judging the. I did drag queen bingo. She did drag queen bingo. She judged the drag show. She was on stage. She was singing. She was in the parade. She was. I was like, "You're gonna drop from exhaustion."
Right.
Um, but I met a lot of people up there. I met several of my followers that are now family, like Native Nana and a few others up there that I met, and it was like, that is so wonderful to meet you.
No, seriously, I feel that. And it really was exhausting. And admittedly, I ended up catching COVID for the first time while I was there.
I caught
to my
COVID at
best-
Pride in Oklahoma City.
Well, there we go. Twinning.
The bad thing to get as a souvenir. Yeah.
It really was like
Yeah.
that was the gift that kept on giving.
Yeah, that was not fun. No, yeah, when I flew to, in the Midwest, you can't fly anywhere direct. So you have to, and I flew on Southwest for the first time. I will never fly on the cattle car with wings again. And you have to fly from Omaha to Denver or Omaha to Chicago or Omaha to somewhere else and then fly to Oklahoma City. I probably could have driven there faster. But
Hopefully.
I feel that. It's why I actually drive the hour and a half down to Boston's Logan Airport, because ditto for our admittedly very tiny airport in Manchester. Unless you are going to DC, New York, or Chicago, there is not a single direct flight, and it is actually faster for me to drive to another state and fly out of that.
yeah. Well, in Omaha we have Epley Airfield, and they are expanding it to try and make it an international airport. And I'm like, we only have 500,000 people in Omaha. I mean, the state just went over 2 million for the whole population. We have more cows in Western Nebraska than we have people. It's like, okay, we're going to have an international, but I think they want it just so, like, if a larger plane wants to land, it can. So you could have larger planes land and at least refuel. I don't know what they do here, but Atticus, my cat wants to say something. Come here.
Yes, we're paying the pussy tax right now. All the pussies are coming out.
Yay! Oh, the kitties. I can't say y'all because. Oh, hi, babies.
He's very vocal. He sings the song of his people every night to me.
As does this one. Woo, down you go, buddy.
So
You want to get
everybody
up?
else
You
is
wanna get
ready
up?
to everybody else is ready to go. Sims is like, no, I found a comfortable spot.
What?
This is Zoe. She's cool. She'll sit here for a hot minute as long as I pet her.
Okay,
She thinks
you're
she's a
being
Siamese.
obnoxious.
She's not a Siamese, but she thinks she's a Siamese.
Atticus is half Siamese. His
Oh,
mother
man,
was.
They sing when you're talking about singing the song of their people. They really do. The cats that think they're Siamese, it's a whole different thing.
His mother was. I had a kitty when I bought the house named Duncan, and it was like 2 months after I bought the house, and Duncan went into respiratory failure, and I had to put him down. He went into heart failure. He was only 3, and this pregnant, giantly pregnant Lynx Point Siamese showed up on my front doorstep, hated me, hissed at me. So of course I fed her. But she was enormously pregnant, and I was like, my God.
You're having
This
like
cat
a
was
cat in there.
Well, and I mean, the day before she gave birth, she looked like she had a football inside her. And then the skinny cat showed up the next day, and I'm like, oh, you had your kittens. And then after a rainstorm, she apparently didn't like where they were, and she moved them into my shed, and I found all of her and the kittens, and there were 7 kittens.
Oh, wow.
And she kept moving them around the neighborhood. It was super hot that summer, and I was always following her, could bring her food and water. And so then when they were 4 weeks old, they were under a porch, and my neighbor's porch, and the little boys who lived there, they were like, the kittens are out. So over 2 days, I snatched all the kittens. And and she could not keep up, even feeding as much as she did. She was trying to nurse 7 kittens. All of them were underweight. They were all covered in fleas. They smelled like poop. So every single kitten that came in got a bath, and then I weaned them almost instantly.
Oh, wow.
And when they were big enough, I got all of them to the Humane Society. Beautiful. They were beautiful cats. And then Atticus was actually the runt of the litter. He was tiny. And then his brother Blue, Blue just had the personality. I was like, well, I know I'm going to keep Blue. And so I kept those two, and then I did fostering, and I had a foster fail, but Clarity also. So
But foster fails are really the best. I mean, honestly.
and Clarity is the tiniest cat I have, the only female, and she runs the whole thing. She runs the whole shebang.
Of course she does.
You do not mess with her.
I cannot wait till I get a cat. I am going to, it's going to be a black cat. I'm going to name her Sparkle Elizabeth Polk. Yes, she's getting my middle name.
I love it.
Well, I have a feral kitty right now who's a coal black who needs a home. Except it's a male. I still haven't caught him yet.
I need to borrow all of your cats here because Harm Little Narcissist Studios here has been the subject of a rodent infestation as of late. I need somebody to come over here and
I thought you took care of it.
I took care of it, but there was another one that showed up.
Damn.
So, yeah,
Now you need a cat.
I'm
gonna
on
need
number
for
3
Jerry to
right
go
now.
somewhere.
I wish I could rent Atticus out because he is the hunter. If you are foolish enough to try to come into my house as a mouse, you're not gonna live.
That's what I need.
There was one that snuck in one time and was on apparently one of my chairs. I was sitting here eating dinner, and all of a sudden I see Atticus running from the kitchen through my living room with one paw in the air. He's running on 3 legs with one paw in the air, and he goes swoop, and he has the mouse in his mouth. And I'm like, damn.
That's not a kitty. That's a panther.
That is. Yeah, I would not. Just don't mess with him. It's like you're gonna die.
Right.
I've been living here for 4 years and not seen a one, and then which is weird because I do live next to a field. But like the other day, I was on Facebook Live and or TikTok Live and sitting back there in my office and my chair, and I just looked out in the hallway. I saw this little mouse just trotting on down and coming on in the room, and I was like, "Sir, do you pay rent here?" Like,
yeah, excuse me.
The audacity of you just
are you delivering a pizza
popping in here?
What's going on here, dude?
Yeah.
Well, we have a type of mouse in Nebraska called a deer mouse. And they're tiny little mice, but they have these exceptionally long tails. So they look like they're out of a storybook. And we had this terrible blizzard 2 years ago, like almost like a Minnesota blizzard. And I noticed both the cats were like plastered up to the window. I was like, what is it? And this little deer mouse had made a nest somewhere, I think under my porch. And it would come up, and I have a feral cat colony license, so I always have water. I have a heated dog dish, and there's food. So this little mouse would come up, grab a couple pieces of cat food, and then go back down, and then come up and get a drink. And the cats were losing their mind. Because it was like, oh my God. It was the best cat television ever.
A feral cat colony license, did you say?
Yeah,
Tell me more.
The Nebraska Humane Society actually will license you to be a colony keeper. And I have to be, in fact, I have to go, I'm going to go renew it tomorrow, but you have to be inspected. So an officer comes out and inspects your property. You have to show that you have some sort of shelter for them. Well, they can get into my shed if they want to. And I have 3 heated cat houses now. And you have to have food and water. So they had to see that I have a dish of some sort that won't freeze over in the wintertime. And I just get the big giant dog dish. And then and then, like the cats ate already, but there's leftover cat food. So then of course the possums and the raccoons and whoever else is going to come up to the porch. So I also get baby raccoons on my front porch. And this is the third.
I see you on the lives every now and then playing with the baby raccoons, talking to them, and
well, yeah, and I have 2 that are orphaned this year. So the baby raccoons that are orphaned, I let my I call it my followers, my rosebuds. I let them name them. So one is named Frankenfurter and one is named Hot Dog Water.
Yes.
So those are the baby raccoons. And Hot Dog Water actually came as a solo. These 2 little raccoons like paired up, but Hot Dog Water came, and I think its mother had been killed and it didn't know what to do. When it came, it was so skinny and just bedraggled, and that it's odd to see a raccoon up in the daytime. They're either injured or they're so hungry. And the feral cats kind of were like, well, go ahead, eat the cat food. And that it ate like 3 times during the daytime and then went and slept. And every day has been looking better, and then buddied up with Frankenfurter. And so they come together. They must be nesting together, but they're not from the same litter.
I love that. I love how your eyes dance when you talk about your animals. I love it. It's just this
Yes.
joy that comes across you that I love seeing in another human being that has like actual compassion in their hearts for animals. And I just, because to me, we don't deserve cats. We don't deserve, I mean, as humans, we don't treat them with the love that they deserve. So it's really heartening to see someone else who just gives their everything to the animals out there.
Well, and I felt so bad when I bought this house in 2015, and there were cats everywhere. And my neighbor Beverly was the first person I met, and I was like, Beverly, who do these cats belong to? She's like, nobody. And the street I live on, if you look down it, it looks like it's a dead end, but it has a very sharp curve on it. And then there's a couple of fields that there's no houses on, and I think people just come down and dump the cats. And in fact, last year somebody dumped 2 little dogs. And so I was like, well, I started doing trap, neuter, spay, at least to get my goal the first year was to get all the females spayed, so we wouldn't have, because we had kittens everywhere, and feral kittens don't usually survive. I mean, or very few of them do, because we also have owls and eagles and hawks in the neighborhood, and possums and raccoons, and everything is prey. And so I hadn't had any kittens born until 2 years ago. Suddenly a mother showed up on my front porch in November with 2 kittens, and I was like, oh no. But we got them trapped, and the kittens were adopted by a family in like the Council Bluffs area, so very close. So the kittens went together.
I love that.
So yeah. But no other kittens have shown up since. It's just like, and the one that I haven't gotten yet is Malik, and he's the little black kitty who my void kitty, and he's getting to the point where I think I can trap him, probably in the next couple of weeks.
It's infuriating to me to see people throw animals out the car window like they were a bag of fries.
Mhm.
Like just just like I don't
That's how
want
I
this
got my
anymore.
Janny.
So
That's how I got
Yeah.
my Janny. It was January 2 years ago. She'll be 2 years old in January, and I heard cats yelling because we already have 2. They were feral when we adopted them, and then we were at home and I heard yowling, and like Lily will cry if I'm not paying attention to her. So I
Mhm.
was like, "Is that her? Did she get outside?" And my husband was like, he's like, "No," and then he heard something in the middle of the road. Somebody had pulled up, dropped her out the window, and sped off. Like he thought that she had been smushed
Oh
because it
God.
was. And she was just yowling and she was covered in excrement and she was so pitiful. And he picked her up to bring her in and he was like, "We're not going to get a new cat. We're not getting a new cat. We're not getting a new cat." And then he passed her to
Sure.
me and I'm like, "We have a new cat." So she's been my baby. And she's so tiny. She's still kitten size and she's going to be 2. But she's like you were saying earlier, she's such a tiny cat, but the other 2 are afraid of her. So she's our little black kitty and I love her so much. She's January because she was dumped in January and we call her Janny. So
I have one of my the feral cats that I have right now are Malik, which is the little male who's the void kitty, and then I have Mimi, who is a female who she was one of the kitten factories that I finally caught, and Mimi is just teeny. I mean, I think and I know she's gained weight, but if she's 5 pounds, I would be surprised. But she's medium long haired, so she's kind of fluffy. And then I have Saki, and Saki is like, he's the alpha male. He has one ear that flops over, so he's got one ear. He is gigantic. I call him Hamhead. When I trapped him, now usually feral cats, when you trap them, might be 6 or 7 pounds because he was 12 pounds. And now, since he's been neutered, he's put on a little Buddha tummy. I would bet he's easily 15 or 16 pounds now, but he is just a gigantic cat.
Yeah, our Billy is too. He's actually bigger than our Billy is bigger than our Jack Russell. So he's like 15 pounds now. And he's
Yes,
not bad.
Morgan.
He's just, I swear he's Bobcat.
Morgan has her hand up. Yes, Morgan.
Yes, Morgan.
Uh-oh.
Is this a cat or is this a Maine Coon?
He's like he looks like a mackerel tabby with white paws, and he has white paws, and he has a white like little throat. But he's
Oh,
black, and he's black and brown striped.
oh, so
He's just
basically,
a huge cat.
he's a biracial Mufasa. Got it.
But he is a big boy.
Inguyala hindele bala. Inguyala hindele bala.
Well, and there's a guy at the end of the street who has a little chihuahua, and he's let the chihuahua out sometimes. The chihuahua's running around. I'm like, keep the dog away. I'm like, and he's like, why? I said, this cat up here outweighs that dog by at least 2 times. And it's not Saki is not friendly. Saki is 100. He likes me, but nobody else. I'm like, he will fight that dog. So I'm like, keep the dog away, keep the dog away.
I think you've come into the right place for cat ladies, though, honestly. I think I'm the only one besides Morgan that doesn't have one. It's only because I don't want to pay extra rent for every single fur baby I bring in here because they don't
Yeah.
have jobs. And
It's expensive to go to the vet. And
yeah,
one of my very closest friends in the world, Dr. Linda, is a veterinarian. I've known her since high school, and I even get a friends and family discount, and it's still expensive. You know,
you rescue cats, and I also saw that you rescue queer people because you stand in at weddings.
I've done one.
You've done one, yeah.
Mhm.
That
And I am going
is
to a graduation
as a substitute parent, right?
as a substitute family member. Yeah, not Nebraska Nice is graduating from the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, and has no family that's going to attend. So they asked me if I would come, and I'm going to go to their graduation.
I love that.
So, but yeah,
That's tremendous.
Noah's my son now. I mean, that's too late. He's mine.
That's tremendous, though, honestly, because those of us in that community often don't have family to fall back on. I managed to make up for my family and children. So
Mhm.
I have 6. But yeah, there's so many young queer people who don't have that one person to be there, and you being there in the capacity you have, I thought was pretty amazing.
Well, and I didn't have any children of my own, and so I became a mother at 56, and I didn't have to give birth. I think that was a win-win for me.
Right, that's a good
You know?
deal. Yeah. Yeah, I tell that to of my 6, only one of them was born from me biologically, but yeah, adoption definitely bypassing the whole giving birth process. Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot of trans women who are like, no, I want to have a baby someday. I'm like, cool, I'm good. I'm good. I
Yep.
don't need to menstruate. I don't need to have a period. I don't need to give birth. I'm good. I can be feminine without
Well,
all that.
Yeah.
like I told you last night, Sheila, you don't have to give birth to give life. They
No.
gave birth, you
That
gave them
part.
life.
Yeah.
You gave
That
them life.
part. I
So
have one of my beautiful kids is in the comments right now. It's shout out to YouTube right now. There's so many people out there. Steve Sladen's here. Got Hassans and Hassas and Curls. My daughter Kat in the chat there. Hurricane Alia holding things down in there, and Beveruni, and we've had
Oh,
the
Bev's here. Hi,
Mentor.
Bev.
Yeah, Bev is here. Bev is I think a follower of roughly all of us here,
Yeah.
and then
Bev's
Mishi is
awesome.
here. We've got an active chat going on here, which I love to see, and it's great to see everybody out here and active tonight. But I appreciate all the engagement that we're getting. If you're in the YouTube chat and you have not hit the like and subscribe button. Why not?
Do that.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, like,
do
what the
that.
fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck
Come
is wrong with
on.
you? Do it. Sorry,
Honestly,
fuck,
honestly.
man.
If we want us to keep getting these great guests, we got to get some more subscribers coming up. Fucking duh, right?
Fucking duh.
Yeah.
Fucking duh. Okay, yeah, and I
I
would
say that in
just
my video.
say to
Oh,
any
it's
of the the queer community that is, you know, that is trans and is afraid to come out to their family. If
Mhm.
if it doesn't, if they don't, if they reject you, they didn't deserve you in the first place.
That's
And
true.
I always say that chosen family is best because you can't help who you were accidentally, related to by blood. And
Yes.
blood is the quote of blood is thicker than water is a misquote because it's the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So making a covenant with someone is much stronger than actually being accidentally pooted out of somebody's habita. And you know, you can't help that. My God, if I could help it, oh my God, I have Trumplican relatives. It's like, oh God,
Mm-hmm.
what can you do?
I have a cousin like that, and she's my mom's age, so they grew up together, and they live downstate, and we don't ever. I don't really ever. I haven't seen her in 10 plus years, but I have no desire to initiate that contact. Like, we're friends on Facebook only because she's a family member, and I don't ever really interact with her. But it's just like some of the fuck shit that she posts, and I'm like, I know you're smart enough to know how to fact check things. Like, why are you posting this shit? Like, it doesn't. I mean,
That
I just and so my favorite thing, my sister and I like to tag team when she posts stupid shit on Facebook, and my sister will be like, we'll text and she'll be like, okay, get some popcorn. I was like, okay, here we go, and I'll go, and so she'll start responding to something on Facebook that was posted, and then I'll put it, and it's like, I don't let a little thing like facts get in the way. Come on now,
Right.
yeah.
if you want to debate this, let's have a debate. Well, I'm not debating it. Hey, you posted it. If you can't back it up and justify it, that says something about you. That's not on me. Like, maybe there's something there you need to think about.
So that makes them really mad. I make them really mad because I'm just like, I'm not interested in talking to you. And I even have that in my welcome video. I'm like, these are my boundaries.
Mhm.
I'm not interested in it. I'm just not. I mean, when I first got on TikTok, I was, oh, sorry, there's some kids out front. They're okay. I thought that's the, are they okay? They're fine.
Definitely safety first.
Yeah. Um, so if they, oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Talk about not interacting with people, like having those
Oh
boundaries.
yeah,
That's
I just
good.
won't do it. And they're like, well, you're suppressing my freedom of speech. No, I'm not. Go say it on your page.
Exactly.
That part.
You have
Right.
no expectation of freedom of speech on my page.
Yep.
You don't have an
Right.
expectation of freedom of speech really on TikTok because they have community guidelines. You can't just say anything you want to.
Exactly.
It's you can go
Yeah.
out in the street and scream whatever you want to. As long as you're not threatening anybody, but it's like they don't understand what the freedom of speech even means.
Right.
Right. You have
But in 2020, I tried to I would argue with them and argue with them. And they sort of have a pattern of arguing.
Mhm.
And then I would realize I was just been spinning my wheels and went dog shit for 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh my God. It's like oh, well, you need to tell me say why this and this. No, I don't.
nope.
Exactly.
And
Freedom of
I'm to the point
speech.
now where I'm like, your last year of free education was 12th grade, and you cannot afford me as a tutor.
100%. That part right there.
Freedom of speech does not include a platform with it.
Nope.
That's the thing is
Mm-mm.
when we've worked hard to build what platforms we have, it doesn't mean that it's there for whomever to just run roughshod over or to grab the microphone and speak. But I noticed as you did that sometimes doing arguments, and I've joined these debate lives sometimes
I
and been a
sometimes do too.
panel.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do it sometimes because I feel like chewing on some things,
Mhm.
like I feel like playing with my food, but it also, if you're on a debate live for long enough, you get back around to the same questions over and over. You're explaining the same shit over and over and over again, and it's tiresome, and I don't blame you for not wanting to engage in that. I did watch that welcome video and I was like, yeah, no, I get it. If somebody wants to come on my platform and be transphobic, no, then the platform is revoked. Access
Yeah,
denied.
and I'm trying, I had a lady the other night who was saying some of the words you can't say on TikTok and got really mad at me about it because she wasn't listening, and I had to block her. And then you have all the blowback from that. It's like, well, you're being mean. No, I'm not.
Right.
This is more than just TikTok. It's actually my business now.
Right.
Because
Right.
last fall I actually transitioned out of a full-time. I worked for the Omaha Public School District as a full-time special education paraeducator. But I was doing that full-time and then running my business full-time, and I was like, there aren't enough hours in the day, so I did a lateral transfer to what's called a school aide. So I work 10 hours a week for the school district. And I go in and I do lunch duty and I do playground duty, and
Oh,
then I get to go
nice.
home.
I
So I
love
The
have
fun
that.
a
parts.
tremendous amount of fun. I love the kids. I love the people I work with. I work at a very remarkable school. When you like 99% of all the people you work with, that's amazing.
That's
You know,
almost unheard of.
yeah, it's a
That's
very close
incredible.
team, and and you get to you love the kids, and oh my gosh, one of the kids I worked with really, really closely is starting high school this fall, and I'm like, you're supposed
It's
to be in fourth
amazing.
grade. You're supposed to be in fourth grade. It's like, wait a second.
Right.
Yeah, I taught university in China from 2009 to 2020, and I still get messages from my former students from back in the early years when they're like, here's a picture of my baby, here's the job I'm doing now, and I'm like, oh my God, you were just a freshman,
Yeah,
like when I taught you, and it's so rewarding. And then of course they look at me and they're like, well, you've changed a bit. Like,
for the
yeah,
better. Yeah.
for the better. I've come out. So
Mhm.
it's something, just being involved, I think, in around the youth, uh
Yeah.
absorbing that energy is something else. And I almost hate to break in with the station ID here because we're having such a great conversation, but we are here on Hurricane Girls Network. We will be broadcasting later on WHDR Hurricane Girls Radio. The show will go into rotation there. After we're done, we will be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts in audio form after this, and we will be still available. If you need to catch the replay, you can catch it on youtube.com/@hurricane girls. And we're just having a great time here tonight. I'm surrounded by amazing people as usual on a Tuesday night, and just want to let you all know a little bit about what's going on, what's going to be coming up in the show. On the 21st of October, we'll be meeting up with Mishi Rivera Acosta, who is in the chat right now. I do see her in there. We'll be meeting Miss Andrew from TikTok. There may be a little bit of slagging off of men that night. So, I mean, they've earned it, I think. Miss Emily, my friend, an amazing soul singer from Toronto and Ontario, will be with us on the launch of her album. I just saw the new artwork that is going to be on that album. It's going to be fucking phenomenal. Stone and Snow will be with us in September, as will Natural Velvet. Blank Era, heavy metal band from Nashville, who will sample a little bit at the end of the show tonight, will be on in September, as well as Renee Bell, who played Lulu, Kirk's girlfriend on Gilmore Girls, will be here talking about Gilmore's and talking about soap, making soap. So
Oh, cool.
that'll be an interesting show, I think. Coming up later on this month, New Enemy from Dublin, Ireland, will be rocking out with us here, and Racontus, attorney at law, will be with us next week. We have to use a alias because she's a prosecutor of sex crimes and homicide, and therefore gets a lot of death threats. So we're protecting her just a little bit. But tonight we are here with the North Omaha Cat Lady, and I'm here with my fellow Hurricanes, Salty Historian, Hurricane Mary. Please go to her Etsy shop and buy the new calendars coming out with
I
lots of
don't
great
care about the
stories about
shop.
women.
I don't care about the shop. Come and watch my content and learn some things about women in history because we are erased and we need to be heard. Please
That
come
too.
and listen. They're not my stories. I just tell them. Please come and listen to the stories.
We
If you like
we
the
need
calendar, do it.
we
Although
need eyes on
you can
that.
get this shirt. You can get this shirt if you want. Fucking duh.
So go to
But please,
both.
the content is more important. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Go to
But the
her shop,
content's more
buy
important.
something, and then go watch all of her content like straight in a row. Like binge watch it. Honestly, I could. Like the stories you tell are absolutely fascinating. And definitely women that I've never heard of before. And
Yeah, I just talked
there's a
about Frances
reason.
Perkins. I just talked about Frances Perkins, and it was disgusting to me how few people knew who she was. She was the first woman to ever serve in a presidential cabinet, and she wrote the New Deal. FDR gets credit for it. So anyway, don't get me started. Don't get me started. But
We
I
will not get you started, but you know what? I need you to unmute when you're laughing like that because
I
like I love the way your laugh sounds. It's amazing. Yeah. Hurricane
this is
Abby
so
is here with
embarrassing.
us. Abby is the author of The Year of Dating Myself by Abby Rosemary. Pick it up at Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble, anywhere books are sold. It will change your life if you're a woman who finds yourself in the serial monogamy cycle of dating harmful and frankly, let's say it, abusive men. And taking a year off to date yourself, that's incredible. It's life-changing. Read the book.
Mhm.
Have with us also our resident therapist, heart of the show here. Hurricane Sim is on the panel as well. And her pussy is on display here as well. So, yes, this is the head boobs. Yeah, they're just giving me life here
This
in
is
Morgan
Little
too.
Miss. And if I don't know if any of you have seen Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams, but that's where her name comes from. Is there's a character on there who starts as a child and grows throughout the movie, but he always called her Little Miss, so that's where she gets her name.
Morgan's off camera right now. Hopefully, Morgan, are you there? It's good to see you too. I'm gonna assume not. But Morgan is our resident accountant in training. So if you talk about accounting and you see her ears perk up, that's why. Um, love you, Momo. And Rosie, aka the North Omaha cat lady, is here with us tonight. We
Yes.
going into one more hour of conversation here, and the chat's popping off, and everything's really lively tonight, and I love that. There's a few things. You did talk about being a teacher at one
Yeah.
point. What what grade level did you teach? Like,
Oh, I have to say one of the troll comments, ear knit a twetcher. One of the, that's one of my favorite sayings now. From the trolls will always come in and say things, and somebody came in one night and tried to say you're not a teacher, and it came out ear knit a twetcher. And so I've never been a teacher. I was a paraeducator,
okay,
which is like a teacher's assistant. I actually worked most of my adult life in engineering services. So I know an unusual amount about concrete and asphalt. And I ran an asphalt laboratory, but when I moved to Omaha, I got out of engineering because I wanted to spend time with my mom, and that's when I got into education. And so I started out with doing special education, kindergarten through second, in a classroom called an ACP classroom, which was an insular classroom for kids who have a higher level disability and cannot be mainstreamed. And I did that for, oh good lord, like 5 years, and then I transferred to the school I'm at now, and I was what's called a resource para, and in resource, all the kids are mainstreamed, and then we supply support because they have they might need help with reading or math or something like that. So that's what I did there, and then I transferred out to be an aide.
Yeah, there are
But
a
I
few
love.
of us. A few of
Mhm.
us in here who have classroom experience. I know Abby was a teacher at a different point in life, and our Hurricane Alia, who is our executive producer and running the chat right now, was also a high school teacher. So I taught to the university level.
I mean, and
So
I've taught small groups and one-on-one and stuff, but I don't want to ever disrespect a teacher and say that I was a teacher, because I've never held a degree in education or a teaching license in the state of Nebraska or anywhere. So I assisted a teacher, and I
you
was
were
quite happy with that. You could not pay me to do what teachers do. Uh-uh.
honestly
I really, at this point in my life, I don't want to be in charge of anything else. I don't want to. No, I'll be an assistant. I don't want to be in charge.
anything or anybody else,
No,
honestly.
no, no, no. I don't want to be the manager. I don't want to be the head anything.
I
I've done
tried.
that.
I tried while I was teaching college. I tried teaching preschool, and let me tell you that didn't last long. Like no,
And see,
You might as well just try and
I love the little ones.
you might as well
I
just try and nail Jello to a wall. I mean, you'll have more success with
I
that.
love the little ones. I do, but I was I this the added factor in that was I was also being a preschool teacher to kids who did not know my language.
Mm.
So yeah, like they didn't understand English. I was there to teach them English, but they were 2 or 3 year old Chinese children, and they also hadn't learned proper Mandarin either, because they would come in speaking their local dialects and things like that. So I'm just like, huh? Like, what do you want? And
And they're
uh,
looking at you going, huh?
right. And then finally they just like reach down and grab their pants. I'm like, oh, you have to go to the bathroom. Yeah, let's go. Okay, got you. But yeah, I think it takes a special kind of person to be uh involved in that orbit anywhere. But you're also, I would say you're a teacher now, just in a different sort of frame, because you do educate, um or or even just have fun, entertain on TikTok and on the social media. Um but it's always interesting seeing somebody coming from that background, because some of the things you say would not fly for a teacher who
Oh
has,
no,
yeah.
no. But yeah, but working in engineering service, I was working with like construction workers, so you could basically say anything. I mean,
Right.
it was, I worked with mostly men, and when I got into the asphalt industry, there were very few women in that field. I'd go to a convention, there'd be 400 people there, and there'd be 11 women. So I would have guys say to me, "Women have no business being in asphalt," and I'm like, "Why? You need a penis to do it?" It's like,
Right.
what in the laboratory do I need a penis? So it's like, what?
Are
I
they
don't use it. I don't use that tool for anything in the laboratory.
are they stirring it with their dicks? Like, what's going
And,
on?
well, and that's what I had a couple guys say that to me, and I looked at them and I said, "Show me your certification cards, and I'll show you mine." And they were like, "Ugh." And I was like, "I'm certified in Minnesota, Iowa, North Dakota, Nebraska." I said, "I'm certified in NICET. I'm certified." It's like they're like, oh, "Okay." Okay, so I have to have 7 more, certifications than you do to be considered an equal. I'm like, go screw yourself. You know,
Mm.
you know.
That's sadly the case in, I think, a lot of fields.
Mhm.
I found that out
And for
after
centuries.
transition.
That's why I'm a salty historian.
Well, and
Right.
I worked for a couple engineering firms in Minnesota, and then I ended up working for the state of Minnesota right before I moved. And in Minnesota, the asphalt plants closed down in the fall because it's too cold to produce asphalt. And so half of my job was plowing. So I also have a CDL, and I drove one of the big orange snow plows. And I loved that. I had so much fun plowing. And I was the only woman on that crew. I did midnight to noon. And those guys, as opposed to some of the other people I had worked with, were such nice guys. They were always like, just my boss Tim was a sweet guy. Like, anything you need, we'll try and fix it. You need, because that was my first year plowing, and they were very supportive and very nice.
I I found out like right after I started putting the lashes on and painting my face that I suddenly didn't know anything anymore with men around, like men who would have absolutely not questioned my qualifications a day prior to transition, men who would still to this day not call me a woman would still treat me that way. Is like suddenly, are you sure you know things about a computer? Like
Mm-hmm.
as I work in tech, I work for one of the biggest tech companies that is out there, and I am also a level 4 technician. And so when they call, I get the most mediocre dumbass men talking to me about their product, their iPhone or their Mac, because fuck it, I work for Apple. I'm not gonna worry about doxing myself at this point. But they come in and they've come to me for help, but I still don't know anything. They still know better
Right.
than I do. So it like I don't care how transphobic anybody is, if you present as femme or present as a woman, they they automatically deduct those skill points and IQ points from you. It's fucking weird. Come on,
Yeah.
guys. Like,
And I think I got a good relationship with quite a few of the guys, because I was the one. You had to have, to maintain your certifications, you had to have an observation by one of the state inspectors, and so they would come to me for tutoring on the asphalt tests. And some of these big guys, I mean, these big giant, burly guys, and I'd be, you have to verbalize everything while you're doing it, and I'd be asking the questions, and they'd be like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, you can't say I don't know in front of the inspector. And I was like, guess. And they're like, it was a weight or something, and they were close. I'm like, well, I said, if you guess, even if you guess wrong, I said that shows that you're in the ballpark. I said, so even if you guess wrong, I said, just give them your guess, and that at least show. And I said, just don't freeze up. And they're like, oh, okay. So I did that a lot.
yeah, I found out pretty quickly how strong misogyny is in the world around us,
Mhm.
and even in education, even in any manner of work,
Mhm.
women are always being second guessed. And
Yeah.
by usually, like it reminds me of that one TikTok about with the pro golfer who's on the driving range, like she's just practicing her drive, and then this mediocre man comes up along behind her to be like, yeah, here's how you should do your golf swing.
Right. That's how you
Like,
should hold your club. Yeah.
she's in the
The pro.
LPGA, for fuck's sake. Like, here comes somebody with this penis qualifications coming up behind her and is like, no, this is how you're supposed to do it.
Oh God.
Please show us your scorecard, sir.
Yeah. Really.
I'm
I've
curious, Rosie. I perceive you, like when I've watched you, like your videos, and even when I've seen you in your lives and stuff, like there doesn't seem to be much like that you're cautious about speaking out about, which I love. Like you're out there and you're very good at calling a spade, and just calling people out on their bullshit. And I'm just wondering, like, is there any aspect of things, like whether it's a type of person or a situation that you find intimidating? Like what what is it that gives you pause, like, to how you respond? Because I see like so much the opposite from you so much, and I'm just curious if you've ever like been in situations, or there's a particular situation that you're intimidated by.
Um. Uh. I don't know if I'm really intimidated by situations. You hate to have, like, I call it the TikTok hate train hit you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I've learned to say less sometimes, especially in the comments. And a lot of times, because I guess it was like I thought I should be in there trying to control the narrative or helping guide the narrative, and sometimes you just can't, and sometimes you get in a lot of trouble for that. And because it's very difficult, I think, to get tone or intention from the written word that we're using, like in comment sections. And people will say, "Well, you said this and this and this," and it's like, "Yeah, but I didn't mean it the way you're interpreting it." You know, um, I I do kind of get miffed. I mean, I get a lot of trolls. I always have. I do get miffed at people when I see that they have a lot of followers and they're trolling. I'm always like, why are you doing that? You have a platform. I mean, you're doing well here. You obviously can go live. Why are and I a lot of times try and follow up on them. Well, a couple times it really hasn't worked out too well, but a couple times it really has. And I've made actually some close friends follow doing that. And uh, I had a group of trolls that we ended up nicknaming, like, we called them the Big Wheel Brigade. Because
Yes.
it had to be teenagers. You can kind of tell by writing style and things like that. First of all, I always tell the trolls, you cannot hide your writing style. It's like
No,
a
you can't.
fingerprint. You can change the name of your account, and I can still tell it's you. And so they would come in and they're like, they tried to intimidate me. They told me they were the FBI. They were going to come in and they were going to confiscate all my electronic devices and my cats. They were going to confiscate my cats.
Not
I
the
guess they were going to,
cats. Don't
yeah,
cover
they're
the
going to.
cats.
And then one guy one night said, "Well, we're pulling up in the driveway of the house next to you. I'm watching you." And I said, "Oh, you are? Which house? The one to the east or the west?" And he said, "The east." And I start laughing. And he was like, "Why are you laughing at me?" I said, "My neighbor, that house doesn't have a driveway." And he's like, and I've actually had hate mail sent and things like that. But during the Big Wheel Brigade, one of the nights when they were really in there a lot, just doing their nonsense, somebody else came in and said, "Well, you like my news channel." And I'm like, "Oh, sure, you're on a news channel. Sure. Uh-huh. Uh-huh." And you know, I'm Barbara Streisand. And I just let them have it. And after after the live, I went on to Instagram and I got this message, and it was from this person I didn't know, and they were like, I really am on in the news." And I'm like, "Who is this?" It was Windsor Johnston from NPR.
Oh shit.
And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm really sorry." I mean, I did listen to her. And she and I mean, I explained what was happening, and she was like, "Oh, I didn't know there were trolls in there." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I thought you were one of them." She and I became very close friends. And when her husband, Bob, passed, I actually went out to Washington, D.C. for the funeral.
Mm.
I mean, we became very close friends. But I mean, that's when you're cut. And another friend of mine, Jason, we butted heads in the live really badly. And he blocked me, I blocked him, and then I contacted him through my backup account, Flossie May, but he had the courage to talk to me. I always think you can achieve a lot by talking to somebody. We're
Mhm.
really good friends now. We had a misunderstanding, you know, and if you have it's sort of the adulting thing of I will absolutely talk to you, I will absolutely listen to you. But in the live, like with the one lady who wouldn't stop using that language, I had to shut her down because my live could have gotten taken down.
Right.
Well,
And
and
that's
I
your
think
money.
and I think people center themselves in the live sometimes, right? They get upset if you
Yeah.
don't see their comments. Like, never mind the fact that you have 300 people in the live. You're supposed to exactly see every single thing that goes by. And I think Mama Tata spoken out about that too. She's talked about how, she, like you, has millions of followers, and it's like, but she'll get DMs or comments and people are like, "You haven't replied." Like, I didn't see your message. Like,
I get
people
those.
don't have
Yeah.
I don't think they fathom like how many times you have to be tagged, a day about things or commented on, and you don't have time. It's like you said, it's literally a full-time job to sit and go, and go through those. You're not going to be able to have time to comment on everything. You're not going to
No.
see everything. Like it's
Mhm.
impossible. But people tend to center themselves, I've seen in those lives, and they get so upset if they're up there going, pay attention, and they're not
Yeah.
validated.
Well, and the parasocial relationships are something I never had experienced either. I mean, I had a guy come in live one time and started talking to me like he knew me, and I'm like, I'm not sure what you're talking about. He's telling me he was telling me some really personal stuff, and I'm like, I don't allow trauma dumping in my life.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't know who you are. And he goes, well, I consider you my mother. And I'm like,
Whoa.
but I don't even know who you are. And he got furious with me because I
Right.
was supposed to be his mother and I didn't know him from a can of paint.
You've never had a
I'm like,
conversation with the guy.
Right.
Ooh.
I've had that. People call me sister all the time, and I'm like, who are you? Like, I've never people, and they're like, no, I followed you for like, I just think today was my 4-year TikTok anniversary. They like,
oh, happy
I,
anniversary.
and they'll be like, I followed you from day one, and I'll be like, that's amazing. I appreciate that. I don't fucking know who you are right now. You sitting back there and watching doesn't mean shit to me because I appreciate you doing it and I appreciate the engagement, but also I don't know who you are. But people, because of the nature of what I post, they feel like they get to know me. And I know that's happened with some others of us as well, and Abby in particular, because we kind of have a good grasp on what happens when the TikTok mob comes for you,
Oh,
and
the hate train. Yeah.
yeah, the hate train, because
You get hit by it. Oh yeah.
Abby's been run over by it full force. You had
Mm,
Abby, you had
me
something
too.
like 500,000 followers at one point in time, I think, and you're not on social media anymore.
Oh yeah, honestly, that hate train was so intense and so vicious that I deleted everything. And admittedly, going through this admittedly forced social media cleanse was so incredible that even when I got to the other side of it, I'm like, I actually have no interest in going back. And but it is insane that once I mean, they were saying it for years, even up before everything happened, specifically with me, that TikTok has a dogpiling problem and it seems to get worse and worse and worse every year. And when people have decided you are persona non grata, like that's it. They do not care if what they're saying might drive you to kill yourself. They don't care if they are trying to make your personal life upend as well. They've decided, like, no, we've decided you're a psycho narcissist bitch, so we are going to do our best to literally end, if not, or ruin, if not end your life.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
what I've seen is usually when that happens. The last time it happened to me, people were demanding that I release like an entire live because it was about a woman who had come in and trolled in my live and been very unpleasant, and then claimed that I was just mean to her, and it was like, okay, that didn't happen. And I did actually make a video with some excerpts of it, and I had people demanding the whole live. I'm like, no, because you're going to take that, you're going to cut it up, and you're going to make it into your content for the next 2.5 years. No, I don't owe you anything. I made one video and that was it.
It is.
And and what I've seen though is when people want views, they'll pick a creator, whether it's, Dr. Eric or Mama Tot or Tina Tequila, somebody, and they make a big hate video about them. Oh, I'm exposing their blah, 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 blah. Well, then you're going to get, 200,000 views on that. And you go, I look at their account and I'm like, oh yeah, views, 500, 200, 300. Oh, 218,000. Okay. That's why you
Mhm.
made the video.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
had somebody like make a like 12-part series on me based on nothing more than like these brief interactions during a trip overseas where, it was one of those very interesting things where if I was not fully offline already, I would have been like the narrative she is creating, first off, is completely false and based off very few, if any, interactions with me, but made like a 12 part series of it, culminating in trying to coddle up to my abusive boyfriend because exactly that. She was getting all of the views. Everything up until talking about me was like 500 views, 200 views, and then all of a sudden she's talking about, me and it's, again, 100,000 views, 500,000 views. And it's like, these people, they get the dopamine hit and it doesn't matter that it's a real life
Mhm.
being on the other side.
Right.
And I'm a big believer that if there is a genuine predator amongst us, there's somebody who is, causing sexual assault or harming children, like a genuine predator that needs to be like, basically put the spotlight on them so they can't harm more people. Yeah, I'm 100% here for it. But I've decided this person's a bitch, so it is time to like dogpile. It's fucking infuriating.
And that's what's funny is I will, I won't respond to them. A lot of them I just won't. You make a hate video about me, okay, fine. And I'll look in the comments, and it's like a game of telephone. And I'll look in the comments, and there are the wildest stories about me, and I'm like, really? And one lady was like, yeah, and my friend was harassed by her through like 6 different platforms. I've never done that. And then she like took her to court and got a restraining order.
Oh my gosh.
I've never been to court, taken to court. I've never had a restraining order. I've never had a cease and desist. I've never had anything like that get put on me. I'm like, who are you talking about? And one lady, she said, oh yeah, I met her in public, and she just, I said hi, and her eyes got really big, and she ran away from me. I'm like, I never have done that. I'm always like giving people hugs and saying, do you want a picture? Because some people are too shy, and some people don't want a picture. Sometimes, like, they just want to say hi, and I'm like, I've never run away from anybody. It's like I just look at these comments. I'm like, my goodness, you will believe anything,
Yes, they will. And
and it's much
anybody
easier to believe the snark, the rumors, the conspiracy theories than actually like figure out what the truth is.
that happens more often than not. And I have actually heard the ones about you where it's like, did you hear North Omaha cat lady is problematic?
Oh, I love being
And
problematic.
it's
I
problematic and we need to
fucking would.
cancel her. Like I
Go ahead.
Right.
problematic is
Right.
such a broad word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that gets thrown
Problematic can
around.
mean I don't agree with you.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. And we've not shied away from that here on this show, what with Abby's history, and then we've had some guests that have been deemed problematic at some points in their
Well,
careers.
you've got another one.
Right. So, I mean, perhaps now the whole cast of Hurricane Girls is problematic. So, yeah, let's put that on
Bring
our
it
trophy
on.
case. But I think
Bring it on.
it's so fucking childish the way it is. And like
Yeah.
there are creators out there that I think are legitimately problematic. Like
Yeah.
I really did go, like I went after Robbie Harvey when everybody else was doing it because he's been fucking exploiting women's tragedies and trauma for his own personal gain.
Mhm.
And there are others who out there who are they're targeting women, they're doing harm, and especially the nice guy TikTok creators, just watch them long enough, their mask will fall off. But
Yeah.
I also see a lot of things. Like I know Ophelia has gone through some of these things here with everybody is like, no, she was a Trump voter. I don't know if that's true or not because I don't know enough about her
She's not.
to do it. So I mean,
I actually know. She's actually a personal friend of mine, and she's not. But you can't tell people anything. They'll just be like, I have people that think that she's not really from Alabama. It's like she's what I would now I've never asked her, but I would bet that she probably would appear on every census in Alabama, and I don't think she's lived very far from where she grew up in her whole life. I really don't.
And I think that that's the interesting thing is like the people that want to throw that out there, I think they don't understand like code switching and things like that. And it's like that's a natural thing. Like I was
Mhm.
born in Louisiana, I was lived up in Michigan for, so I go on any given day to, through Southern drawl to being the queen of saying I'm sorry, from I mean it's like
Well,
but it's just because when you live in certain areas and stuff, your accent changes, and that's
well, and
normal.
you also speak I speak differently when I'm in front of students. I speak
Right.
differently when I'm speaking to an elderly person. I would
Right.
speak differently to, a teenager. I would speak differently when I'm at work. It's like of course, everyone code switches because you have to adapt to where you are and what you're
Right.
saying, and not all language is appropriate. And we have English is a very big garbage language. And I mean,
Yes.
it's constantly evolving, and there's a million ways to pronounce things. And I mean, I've had people like, oh, we've had flaming arguments flame up because I pronounced something and they didn't like the way I pronounced it. And so sometimes now I mispronounce things on purpose
I love
just
it.
to
That's
irritate.
I love it.
I'll say basil instead of basil. And but that's actually a joke from Faulty Towers.
Mhm.
That's
Yes.
how that's how that okay, and they just won't get it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
and it,
I see like I see that can easily go into your charm and your appeal is, you just sometimes you have to take the hate and then spit it back out as sugar. And I love that about you is like you don't seem to get flustered or you seem very unbothered by a lot of it. I know probably a fair amount of it has to rub a little bit wrong in some ways because when I think about myself, I'm
well,
always judging
and that's
myself.
you said what do you pull back on, and there have been some things that I mean, I would say I don't put I mean, I put a lot of my life out on TikTok. I do not put everything.
Right.
But some things may have legal things. There's the security of the children I work with. I change their names all the time. A lot of times I use they them pronouns, or I change their gender. Uh, the names I usually use for children that I mean a few children that I haven't worked with for years, I use their real name. But they're old enough now. It's like there are and but no, I don't put everything out there. And there have been some very, like say, sad things, happy things that I don't put out there because people a lot of times want to then use that against you. I mean, I've been
Mhm.
people criticize me for not crying enough, for crying too much, I mean, looking a certain way. It's like, what? You don't like my face? And I'm always the hate watching. I just think is bizarre because I have some trolls that have hate watched me literally for years. And there was one, Stephanie, I called her the teacup troll. She hated everything about me. I mean, and she had 2 accounts and she made usually a couple videos about me every day. And it was obvious she was watching my lives every single night. And she hated me. It's like, why would you do
That's
that?
right.
And
Mhm.
that doesn't make any sense. And so she started going after Noah. And I was like, okay, now you've crossed the line. And I started making videos about her every day. And I put them on Flossie May. And all I was doing was taking screenshots of what she was putting up on her account. And I kept saying, I want you to contact me. I want you to tell me you're going to stop. And that'll be the end of it. And she first took down her main account. I mean, it's gone. And I still didn't stop. That went through all. I said, this is going up on TikTok. It's going up on Instagram. It's going up on Threads. It's going on Facebook. And I know approximately. She's from Nebraska. She lives in like Papillion. It's like I don't know who she is or why she doesn't like me, but okay. And finally, it apparently her getting exposed every single day like she was doing to me was too much, and she took down both her accounts. I have not seen her since. It's like if you
That
don't
kind
like
of
me, block me.
Right, exactly. I don't
That
understand that
kind
mindset.
of
Go ahead, Mary.
I was just going to say that kind of segues into one of the questions that I had for you, because I live in history most of the time. So we're going to go into my lane for a second. But, you know, the cum infested cunt bubble back from World War II liked to make examples of people that he didn't like. Do you ever worry that because we're barreling down that road right now, do you ever worry that you'll be on the radar to be made an example of?
You mean through the government?
Right, because you know we had examples being made of people who disagreed
Um,
publicly, and you're very eloquent, and he probably wouldn't get it. But do you ever worry that there's going to be backlash because you're so vocal and unafraid to speak up?
I've been working in social justice since 1990. That's why I started working in politics and social justice movements, and I figured I probably have had an FBI file since then. I don't. It's like you wanna put me in prison. Go ahead. I'll have 3 hots and a cot, free healthcare, and I'm not. I'm a nonviolent offender. I don't have any record yet to put me in some like fat lady prison in Nebraska where it's a dormitory. Go ahead. I'll read all day. You know, it's like, what are you going to do to me?
Well, things are
Exactly
changing
what-
very rapidly. We're seeing things change
Yeah.
very rapidly, though, you know, and we're getting
Yeah.
people out that should be in, and it's becoming more violent. So I'm concerned for you, Rosie. I'm just curious because,
I'm not.
you know, we saw that a lot, and I just worry that that's the road that we're headed down. So I just, you know, I ask all this
Well, and
depressing shit. Sorry.
I think that our roles change through our life. I mean, I'm almost 60. And so I started off in my 20s. I mean, and that was when we had Operation Rescue come to Minneapolis, and we went through training at various churches, and it was, how do you form a human chain? We were on the front lines. You know, what are you doing if someone's spitting in your face? What, you know, how are we doing this? And you couldn't go and actually do clinic defense unless you had been through training. But I have a bad back now, and I'm fat, and I'm old, and I don't like heat as much, and I really don't like people that much. I'm not going to do that, but I can certainly do other things. So we all have a role, and no, they're not going to stop me.
Oh, they'll come for me first. So the way things are, at least anyway. So I'll let y'all know how it is from Alligator Alcatraz or wherever it is they try to put me. I think
We'll get you to Canada. We'll get you to Canada.
I'm just an hour away, so I just have to
I have a
head
friend up
to
there
Detroit.
who take you in. I have more than one.
All I'm saying is we tried to tell y'all.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all hear my mama in the background? Yeah, my mom
Can I just say, if we had only listened to Black women,
Honestly, 100%.
I have a T-shirt that says that.
Yes.
Mhm.
100%.
That opened up a Trump burger restaurant. His visa expired and ICE came and got him.
Wait, hold on.
Right.
Say that. Hold
Yep.
on.
Oh, the
He-
Trump Burger
Trump-
restaurant.
Trump
Yeah.
Burger Restaurant. The guy is he's like from the Middle East, and he has overstayed.
Yeah.
He's overstayed his visa, and they put him in. He was in ICE custody for a while. He's gotten
Yeah.
out, and they are deporting him.
Yeah, right there in H-Town.
See, this is when the tree votes for the axe.
That's right. The tree voting for the axe. Absolutely.
And I really think we've been doing good. And I think the biggest focus right now that I'm trying to do is local elections, local politicians. We did it in Omaha. We ousted our mayor, who was an evil old cunt, and she was a Republican, and we got our first Black mayor. Only took 146 years. And he's a Democrat. And so if we can do that, then we can do governor. We could do our senators. We could do our state senators, then go on to the national level. And if we have that firm foundation built, then we can, at the midterms, then we've got a better advantage there. But I can't, people are, impeach Humpty Dumpty McFuckstick. We don't have the numbers. We can't do that. Now, if we had what happened with Nixon, if the Republicans actually came to him and said, we know you're on the Epstein list, we're going to impeach you and we're going to vote for it, that's different. That's why Nixon resigned.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me just a second. My cat's at the door. Madam Clarity has to come in. She's been at Cat Fight Club all day.
Oh,
Don't let Madam
That
Clarity
is
wait.
hilarious.
No, yeah, but I mean that's true. At least I mean Nixon was a bag of
Mama,
ass.
they love you. I love
Yes, we
them.
do. We do. We love
Yeah, but
we
he
do
had
love
he
Mama
had enough
Colt.
he had enough class to at least step down. I mean, he was saving
Right.
his own ass, but at least
What
he
happened
didn't
to
like,
that?
oh, fuck you. I'm gonna have a golden ballroom. Fuck
well,
you.
because he knew there was
Listen.
accountability, right?
Mhm.
Whereas we have
Right.
somebody now who, because the
Erased all
Supreme
of it.
Court at the last time said, oh no, you can have plenty, immunity as long as you do the things within the scope of the president. We've given you immunity. The second the Supreme Court
Yeah.
did that, they fucked us.
Yeah.
The second they
Yeah.
gave him
Hardcore.
immunity and said, these things are allowed within the
Yes.
scope of what you do as an administration, we were fucked.
That fan is everything.
And
Yeah.
not only did they mess up American democracy, it makes us look like Germany 2.0. Well,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, this ain't the first time America has done nonsense and rubbish, but there is a reason why we have the laws, the bills, the chain of a command, the way we do. I mean, shoot, the founding fathers had to put Benjamin Franklin in his place, even though he was French and he knew this one and that one. It was a part of these organizations, moving stuff behind the scenes. But even they had to say, thank you for your services, but absolutely not. You don't get to insert yourself within our U.S. Constitution unless you want to be a U.S. citizen. You don't. Okay, get around. But no. But no, y'all chose 47 layers of caca. Who's I'm gonna say it. Whose grandfather came to America as a pimp and as a thief, and look what happened. America endorsed a son of a pimp and a thief. I don't want to hear nothing about black people and also our wait, say that again, Mama.
Whose wife used to be a stripper.
Thank you.
Okay.
And his wife was a stripper, a porn star, posing.
With no degree.
But it's a good Christian.
With no
He's a good
degree.
Christian.
Good Christian, my foot, Mary.
But
That was sarcasm.
I know
That was sarcasm.
Y'all don't give me the crash out in front of my mama.
No.
Oh,
But
I'm just
Morgan,
That was
can you
sarcasm.
imagine though if Michelle Obama had shown her hoochie coochie laying on an airplane like that?
Listen.
And even they freaked out when she showed her arms.
They
Yes,
did.
they did.
It was just
Your whole
arms.
hoochie coochie's all over the everything, and you're supposed to,
Right.
oh my God.
Right, we literally seen the first lady's service, but when my favorite first lady, Michelle Obama, she couldn't even wear braids, y'all, for her election. She couldn't wear braids. I remember this old Rumpelstiltskin looking B-word talked about how her butt was too big, and we drug her for the filth.
Well,
But let it be Kim Kardashian.
they always said that she was the first transgender first lady because that was an insult in their mind. It was that she was a really a man or something
right.
like that.
They even accused her. They was calling her a man. They was calling her the Black Widow. Trust me, I heard every single conspiracy theory.
Did you just say though that that we've all seen the first lady's cervix?
We did. We seen her first cervix, fallopian tubes, the uterine line. We did. We seen Donald Trump's wife's cervix.
As my grandmother used to say, we've seen all her possibles.
We did, and then she was put on blast in the Russian media.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is Putin and the apartheid Clyde running trains on them. I'm sorry, Mama.
Mm-hmm. And I think Putin actually thinks that Twinkle Toes McFucknugget is an absolute idiot.
Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Oh, without doubt.
At one point, he liked them.
He just thinks, because it's like, give him something shiny and he'll be happy.
Right. I don't think it's that he liked him. I think it was a matter of he knew this was somebody he could manipulate easily.
He could manipulate.
He was expedient.
And that's because the second he's not useful to Putin anymore, Putin will be done with him. So right now he's useful to Putin because he's easily manipulated.
Mm-hmm. He is. That's but give him a toy. He's
Yep.
happy. Give him a gold toilet. He'll be happy.
Oh
Gold
God, not the
toilets.
golden toilets. No.
The gold toilets.
Now, why would y'all mention the golden toilets
Oh,
knowing
there's
darn well I was
no.
about to crash out? All I'm saying is 5, 3, 1. First of all, Mansa Musa did not give away all of that beautiful gold to Egypt throughout the desert and all around the Middle East for them to melt that down and make some golden toilets. Who does that? That is blasphemy. That is travesty. No, I'm serious. See, Miss Rosie, you think I'm BSing?
I don't think you're BSing.
They brought up how they was putting golden toilets in the White House, talking about it's fancy. And I said, y'all lying. We went on Google. I seen it. I literally went off for a good hour and a half behind that.
It's true.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. He is so profoundly stupid that I could be a toilet manufacturer. I'd take a plain old porcelain crane toilet and I'd put like a layer of enamel gold paint on it, and he'd think it was gold.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
And
then I'd take the $25,000 for the toilets.
All I'm saying, of all the things you can do with gold, a toilet, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Just to deposit digested hamburgers into it.
Yeah, and to rinse off his diapers. Yeah.
Speaking of diapers,
what do you think
he'll
his
have his
actual
diapers.
what do you think his actual reading level is? Like, I mean,
First grade level.
Because I've seen him deviate so much from things his speechwriters tried to give him, and he deviates from that so much. Like, what do you think his
vocabulary has been evaluated at about third grade? But I mean, like, he can't read like words like Yosemite. He pronounced it Yosemite. So he's pronouncing it almost phonetically.
Yep.
I don't know what his reading level is. Maybe sixth grade.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking. I was just curious.
Because when he's speaking and it's stream of consciousness, then he has, I mean, it's sort of like a verbal diarrhea.
Right.
But when he's reading off the teleprompter, he starts talking like this, and it's really monotone. And it's like he's desperately trying to keep up with the reading on it. So I don't think he's a very strong reader because he's not very fluid.
Yeah, I really hate to bring this conversation's been amazing. And we're rapidly approaching the end of our show here tonight. It's been so much fun just sitting around and having a good kiki. This has been an amazing conversation, and I really appreciate that we've had it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I'll come back anytime you want. How's that?
That sounds amazing, because I don't think we'd have to convince anybody else here on the panel here. But after a hurricane is the aftermath, so we always just like to give our final thoughts before we leave the show. And I'm gonna start with Morgan tonight. Morgan, what's your final thoughts tonight? You have to unmute.
You're muted.
Yeah.
There you go, honey.
I got in trouble because I used the Lord's name in vain. I didn't mean to be. But man, first of all, thank you so much for coming to our show, Miss Rosie. I really appreciate you. I love your work. But
thank you.
You can't eat at everybody's house because who eats ranch dressing? Flavored ice cream ranch dressing as ice cream. I don't think pregnant women would like that. I don't. Nope.
Ranch flavored pickles. Pickle flavored ice cream, I do.
Oh, I tried making the ranch pickles. Nope.
Miss Rosie, you shouldn't have done that. See, what you need is my mama's good old hot honey pot chicken with some peppers and onions and some good old rice.
Set me a plate.
It got salt, pepper, herbs, and spice.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
It's gonna take your taste buds to heaven. That's another thing. Tell your people, stop conquering lands if you can't conquer seasons. And I rest my case.
That part. Oh my
Amen.
God. Mm-hmm. Yes. Please learn how to not just boil your food. Yes. Abby, what's your final thoughts for tonight?
I'd say, and we'll keep it pretty short and simple because I can definitely feel a cold starting to come on. I'm hitting that like crash in the energy. But, juxtaposing the hate trains that we will see on social media, I love how this is basically on the opposite side of that with all of this love and camaraderie and support. And seriously, Rosie, if I will be so excited each and every time you come back here because you are nothing but a gem and a source of light. And yeah, this is why I freaking love these Hurricane Girls.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Abby. Sam, final thoughts for tonight.
I can't understate enough how excited I was to meet you tonight, and even to just be in the same room with you. I, as a social worker myself, I do I mean, it's advocacy work, all the time, and working with underprivileged, communities and things of that nature. And like I mentioned earlier, it's so heartening in this day and age with all the hate and divisiveness that's around, um, to see you out there just putting yourself out there again and again and continuing to speak up and just giving a big fu to the haters and the people that don't want to understand. And I hope that you continue to do it for a long time coming, because I just appreciate everything that you do, from the serious stuff to the and the political stuff to the even the food stuff, the Caucasity cookbook and all of that. I mean, it gives me life. So I just want to say thank you for all that you do, because it really, in this climate that we're dealing with, it makes a difference.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Salty historian Mary, what is your final thoughts for tonight?
You left me for last. No.
Yes.
So first, I want to echo Sim first off that I was so excited to meet you because I have followed you forever and I have so much respect for the things you do and you crack me up. But like I don't think fast on my feet, and that's why I use scripts for all my videos and I literally write my final thoughts as the show is going on. So I have
That's
literally
very organized of you. I admire that.
It's so depressing. I don't think fast on my feet, but it means that I've spent a lot of this show feeling like I'm out of my element and way out of my league. So that said, I really need you to know how much I appreciate that you took my questions seriously and answered them thoroughly without being derisive, I guess, because I'm used to being afraid to put myself out there. And because I look up to you so much, I was so grateful that you answered my questions and you weren't just like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman? So but thank you so much for being on the show. It meant so much to me to be able to say, oh my gosh, I get to meet North Omaha Cat Lady. And like I said before the show started, when you followed me back a couple months ago, I almost peed. So I appreciate you so much.
Oh dear. Well, I'm glad. I've seen your content. I don't remember the act of following you back, but I must have. Well, I'll tell you what. I only follow people that I want to see their content. So I must have seen something that I really liked, because TikTok does limit how many people you can follow. So
I appreciate it.
I love that.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I think you followed me first on Facebook and then on TikTok, and I was like, oh my God, that's cool, because I have been following you like that too. But I will solicit your final thoughts then, Rosie, on the night.
Well, I really appreciate you having me on, and I want you all to know that your voices are very important, and that the act of putting yourself out there and having the courage to be on social media, write a book, have a podcast, everything like that makes a big difference. And sometimes you may not realize how many people you may be touching. But through the years, what I've seen is I've had some people contact me and said, this video, made me reconsider killing myself. And I don't even know what video it was, but some words that you may say have an incredible amount of power that you may not even realize. So thanks to all of you for having me here and using your voices all the time. That takes a lot of guts and it takes a lot of courage. So I applaud all of you.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Of course, you can follow Rosie on TikTok at North Omaha Cat Lady, YouTube, all the socials. If you go to Facebook, it's your actual government name. I think Facebook.
Yeah, you can find me
Yeah.
through North Omaha Cat Lady, and
Yeah,
on Snapchat, it's the channel is What You're Cooking.
I love it.
So
I always get the luxury of having the last final thought as the host of the show, which I was just want to say, as always, I love this night because it's a night I get to spend with my best friends and with amazing women, and lifting up women's voices and getting to meet new friends and new women, even if they're people that I've been having a parasocial with for a while. It's nice to always see um see what's behind the screen and getting to know you and getting to have a sense of who you are. It's amazing, and everybody out there who's rushing to make judgments on people, who hears one video calling somebody problematic or hears one thing, we need to have time to really understand that there are human beings behind these accounts, and that
Mhm.
that we are all fallible, and sometimes we need to show grace. um
Mhm.
and I'm glad that I didn't buy into the hype there, and that I still get to experience your content. And I appreciate you so much. And this conversation is definitely going to be one that we're going to be cutting up for best of reels for a while. So I appreciate that very much. And to everybody out there who's watching, please hit the subscribe and like buttons.
Yes.
Please share this with your friends. Please post it on your social medias. The podcast will be up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts by midnight tonight. And if you want to, go to my TikTok at Sheila Chappelle, and you can find a link to our online radio station, which broadcasts Hurricane Girls past episodes 24 hours a day. So if you need to body double with a great group of women, um, we are there for that. But tonight we're drawn to a close here, and I do want to introduce a video from a band that we've got that's coming up soon. We're going to listen to a song called "Barely Alive" by Blank Era, and but for tonight, for Hurricane Mary, Hurricane Morgan, Hurricane Abby, and Hurricane Sim, and our new honorary hurricane, North Omaha Cat Lady, Rosie. We are the Hurricane Girls, and as always, chin up, tits out, ladies. This is Blank Era with Barely Alive.
Everything seems fine, but underneath the surface, I'm fighting for my life. You say